Yes, sir. It is I, the Savage of Wall Street, back again. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates, near the wells, and scallywags. I hope everyone's having a fine morning. Um, it looks like our beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, not terrible PPI numbers are out, and it seems like the market didn't like them. I did tell you guys, yesterday, and that I was feeling fairly bearish when it came to the market. I know that a lot of companies were running. I know that the market was happy, but at the end of the day, I did tell you guys, we are either frothy or people are starting to realize, or are just delusional at the fact that the market is it's not supposed to be here, right? And I mean, just look at the producers index, right? Things are just getting more expensive, and the market is seeing that. They didn't like it. I don't know what they were expecting, but it was bad. The numbers were bad. So it's a down day, right? However, um, you guys that have been selling covered calls the last few days, you guys are sitting pretty and smiling from ear to ear. As well as today is a day of opportunity because I see that some of our darlings are actually doing very well this morning. So, you know, it is what it is, right? And so we're going to take advantage of all the opportunity that the market is giving us. I see a ton of opportunity. I actually went in and I closed um, all of my Wolf, Terra Wolf cash secure puts because they were all either 50% or more to the upside. And these are contracts that I wrote like a week ago, um, expiring in January 2026. Some expiring in, I believe, October or September or both. And I mean, I'm not going to wait. I'm up over 50% in a week. Why would I wait another 4 months for the other 50%? It makes no sense. So also, there's a lot of opportunity elsewhere. So what did I do? I closed those contracts, I take money off the table, and I then very methodically will look for opportunity in other stocks, and I'll put my money there, bringing in cash secure put money. You guys know I like my percentages, especially at least 20% going out to January, right? And if I can get 20% going out to October on some, I will definitely take that money from those gamblers. Anyhow, good morning. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're making money. I see there's a few guys on here already. Thumbs up, people, please. Let's get these thumbs up going so that we can start getting more traction. I actually see my channel is getting more impressions, by the way, and definitely I like that. The algo likes that. Um, so let's keep it going, guys. Who do we got here? Let's see. Mando number 5, not to be confused with Mambo number 5, is saying hi all. And so good morning, Mando. Ken's mom is in the house. Yes, Ken's mom. I hope you guys are doing great. Ken's mom, I hope you're having a great day and you're killing them with those cash secure puts. And I hope you're killing them with those covered calls because for those of us that sold covered calls, I have a confession to make. I know that I was saying that I was going to wait on GME to kind of move a little bit so that I can sell some covered calls. I started doing some soul searching and then and I'm looking at my average, and I basically said, you know what, it the stock needs to pay rent. Now I didn't write on all of my stock, right? But I did write 5 contracts expiring, I believe, September. 19th, and I took in almost $2 per call. $23 strikes expiring in September, and I brought in close to $1,000 on 5 contracts. That's the rent. That's discipline. No stock is special, and I have to, sometimes gotta do a little soul searching, and that's what happened. So I did write before close yesterday 5 covered calls on GME, $23 strikes, expiring September, and so I brought in almost $1,000. I believe I had sold some covered calls earlier on IOVA, and I made $500 there. I made a couple of hundred other bucks elsewhere. But anyways, almost $2,000 in a day. That was not bad, and I'm hoping you guys sold some covered calls and some cash secure puts and brought in a nice chunk of change yourself. But yeah, so Ken's mom's in the house saying savage. I love seeing Ken's mom. She's so involved in our channel. She's always here. I think she's been on all of my lives, man, and I really like that. I think she's awesome. Tom Kaufman saying, hey, Savage, you're doing a great job. Thanks for your perspective on the market. Dude, no worries, man. That's what we're here for. And even if it's not something you jive with and it's like in a disconnect with you, right? Or you guys disagree with me on something, I think that's great. It would be pretty boring if we all had the same perspective, right? And also, sometimes when people disagree with me or, have a difference of opinion, I can see things from a different perspective, and I will look at, what it is that they're saying, and I'm able to see, you know what? They're probably right. I mean, that's the benchmark. That's kind of the hallmark of someone that's educated, someone that it has experience, someone that's able to take new information and mesh it with their own, and sometimes change their mind. I think that's a great thing. And that's one of the awesome things about our community here, that we're able to talk about, things and see things from different perspectives. And sometimes some of us will change our minds based on information we just read, and we'll research it further, and we'll be like, dude, yeah, I think that this is my opinion has changed on this, and that's great. So Kilua Dre is in the house saying, morning, my dude. Good morning. B Tram is in the house saying good morning. Kilua Dre saying, you'll be fine with letting your 500 shares of GME go then, or will you roll if they get called away? Well, so my average is like $15. I'm selling for 23, so that's an $800 profit if those contracts get processed, right? If they're exercised. So you take into account the $200 in I think it was like $193 or $192. So pretty much $2 of premium. So that's $1,000 in profit that I'm making, right? On say $1,500 investments. I mean, that's a $500 swing, right? And so $1,500 investment, I make $500. I'm bringing in 33% in a month, right? I mean, I've held the shares a lot longer, of course, but I mean, those are shares I've already written covered calls against. So it's money, it's profit. I'm totally okay getting them called away now. Let's say on close to expiry, it's $23.50, $24, $25, then I'll roll. But if it's $22.50 a week or 2 weeks till, I'm gonna just let those kind of shrink. And then when there's like, I don't know, when there's like very small percentage left, then I look into rolling. And if I roll, I'm not gonna roll weekly. I don't like weeklies. I may roll to the next month and bring in another $150. That's kind of the discipline, right? But if they get called away, I'm okay, because I've already made my peace, right? I've already said I sold a $23 covered call because these stocks are $15 a share. So we make $1,000 on that return on investment, right? So actually, I said 33%. It's actually more, right? It's $1,000. So I'm making $10 on the $15 profit. So that's 66%. I looked at it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired. I had a bad night. I know you guys that are following me often know that I got hurt at work, and so I don't know what I did yesterday. I mean, I went to physical therapy the day before, and we had a rough, well, not rough, but it was I guess you could say a session where I pushed it a bit, and I was feeling a little sore. So I was icing and stuff like that and heating. And then in the afternoon, man, I went out for a nice little walk with my kids. It's which I do usually, but it's not a long walk. It's just like a walk around the block, and then I would stop often. But yesterday, after the first 30 seconds of walking, I started feeling behind, like in my hamstring area. I started feeling some pain, very dull, and it's not sharp pain, it's a dull pain, but it's a constant pain. It won't go away whether I'm lying down or whether I'm sitting down. I tried stretching a bit, it didn't help. I took painkillers, it didn't help. Muscle relaxers are not helping. So I'm guessing it's like it's some type of artery or a nerve. I get to see the therapist tomorrow, so I'm going to tell her what's going on. But anyways, I had a rough night, and so I'm kind of taking it easy. I'm trying not to be too active in the market today because I'll make mistakes, right? And so yeah, if I say a couple of things and they're a little wonky, forgive me. But I had a very rough night. I didn't sleep at all. Like I'd sleep for half an hour and wake up with the pain, and then I walk around and put some ice on my knee, and then that didn't work. So I walk around and go downstairs for some heat, didn't work. And then I just toss and turn, and I closed my eyes like around 4. And then I slept for an hour, and then I woke up again because of the pain. I took some painkillers, and I've been up since. I saw the PPI numbers come in and all that. And I sat down, had my coffee. But yeah, I'm in a bit of pain this morning. I'm right now. I'm sitting on some ice, and so we'll see what happens, man. Uncle Brew 2.0 Savage Style, Zed's Estate, BC is saying, thank you. Roaring is saying, sup, fools. Roaring Yiddy is saying, Wolf on fire today, announced some big deals. You know what? I was looking at that, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you guys can see. Let's see here. I hope you guys can see this. All right, I think you guys can. So you guys can see the most active stocks today. TeraWulf is number one. The S&P 500 is looking like 6,453 points. So it's a nothing burger. We're down, 20 basis. The Dow 30 is down 36 basis points, down 21 basis points. The Russell 2000 is down 1.6%. The VIX is up ever so slightly. And let's see, gold is down 60 basis points. But if you guys can see that these are the stocks that have been moving the most today, the most active stocks, TeraWulf is right above NVIDIA. All right. AMD is right below that. Look at Tesla right there. NIO is there. This is another stock I've been looking at, Rigetti. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's kind of an AI play, right? And I actually have a couple of cash secure puts on it. And let's see. It's 1656 right now. It's down 4% today. And 2-week range is pretty broad. 52-week range is like 66 cents to $21. But it's one of those AI plays, man. I mean, quantum plays. So I'm looking at expanding my quantum portfolio so that I can have my bases covered for when quantum really becomes a thing, right? And like I told you guys, quantum computing is going to be one of those things where um, you won't know until you're there, and everything's going to skyrocket, right? But now is a good time to start taking a smaller position, and at the same time, you're expanding your portfolio, so to speak, right? So the CEO explains the dual advantage of quantum computing, you know, and system on cloud platforms. You guys can go to Yahoo Finance and read these things over. I had already, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of decided to take that step. But it looks like it's a player, and I like it. Um, it's got nice premiums, but look at Intel is heavily traded today. SoFi is obviously heavily traded. SoFi was $24 yesterday, right? Look at that. It's down 3.7% since then. Amazon is heavily traded. Palantir is heavily traded. Apple is heavily traded. Let's see. SoundHound is being heavily traded today. It is down 43 cents. Mara Holdings. Now, see, Mara is another Bitcoin cash was on it. And there's some 14s. It's $15. I may just go and close those 14s, take that money, and then move up to 15 because it's down 5% today. So let's see what it's giving us. Let's see what Mara is giving us. So let's see here, guys. Mara Holdings is down 5% today, right? We're gonna look at our options, and let's go to October 17th. You guys now know that I like to go a month and a half, 2 months out. It's not 3, but October because of triple witching hour. Let's see here. So an October $15 cash secure put is giving you $146 or $1.46 per share. It's a big spread, 133 to 158. I would do 140, depending. But it's a good company. I mean, it's a good play. Bitcoin. I mean, just altcoins in general, right? Crypto. It's evolving, and there's a lot of money in there. There's a lot of money in the sidelines. I like it. I may go into the $15 cash secure put instead of the 14s, bringing another 50 cents, $50. So Lucid is heavily traded. I mean, look, there's so much up there, man. So much opportunity. It all depends on what you guys want to do, right? Let's see what are people talking about today. Yes, Roaring, Wolf is on fire today. I agree. Zeta State saying thumbs number 5. Roaring is saying pinched nerve. Are you safe to go to a chiropractor? Some sports injuries. Look at MRIs, X-rays. Yeah, so this is something that happened at work. Quite honestly, I didn't even know that I hurt myself. I was helping the audio. Obviously, I was helping the audio, and that's what I get, right? But yeah, they were moving some road cases that were extremely heavy, and then it took 3 to 4 people to lift some off of the grass into like the track that helps us go into like this one route. And I didn't, I felt my back kind of pull, and it felt like a nice sting, but it went away, and I knew I hurt myself, but I didn't think it was. I mean, I knew that I felt discomfort, but I didn't think it was that serious. I thought I was going to go home, take some painkillers, put on some ice, and then the next day I was going to be a little sore, but I was going to be able to work. And that was not the case. I woke up in the middle of the night with pain, kind of like now. I couldn't sleep. Didn't matter where I turned. Didn't matter if I was sitting or lying down. And so, I hate to say it, but I did go for a drive yesterday because I took my kids to Halloween, Spirit Halloween, and maybe I was feeling okay. So maybe it was the way that I got into the car when I put all my weight on my left leg, because that's the leg that's really messing me up. And maybe I backtracked, or maybe it's because I actually went really hard on Tuesday on that PT, and even the physical therapist said, let's take it easy today, because we don't want to go backwards. But it is what it is. If it is a nerve, you might need different meds other than what I'm taking, or in addition to pain meds, like a nerve med, like gabapentin. I'm not aware with that. I've never pinched a nerve before, so I wouldn't know. But I'm gonna talk to the doctor, see what they're talking about. My picture's blurry. That's weird. Cause let's see. Let me double check. How is my picture blurry? Let me see, guys. I don't like seeing my picture blurry. Nah, my picture seems fine. I look at it. I mean, it looks just fine right now on my phone. Have you checked your computer? Sometimes you can play with the resolution on your computer, and you can bump it up. But it looks fine to me. I don't see any issues with the picture. So yeah, roaring. My picture seems good. I don't know. It's me. Is in the house. It's me. Good morning. Time to buy some Puts and Wolf for expiry tomorrow. I mean, I like selling cash secure puts. I don't know about buying them on Wolf. Um, I think you'll just be losing money because it's up 40% today, and I just don't think it's. I mean, it's such a cheap stock. I think people are just gobbling it at this point. Roaring is saying Wolf just passed the 200 EMA on a daily. They just got a contract with Fluid Stack, and Google took an 8% stake in the company. That's what happens. $1 billion deal will make you go up, 100% easily in a day, sometimes more. Roaring is saying $3.7 billion deal. Oh, that's a lot of money. I know, I read that. That's insane. Jeff Glass is saying, is this thing on? Jeff, it is on. Are you guys seeing me fine? Oh, the picture was blurry, but it's fine now. I wonder if it's because I went um, from one of these to another up here. But I don't know. Maybe because I shared my screen. I'm not sure. Do you know anything about Snap? Any puts? I know about Snapchat. Quite honestly, it's like Facebook. I'm not in it. I don't use it, and I don't know. There's so much that can go wrong. Same with Facebook. They're relying too much on marketing, right? And getting money from all these companies, so that you people that are on Facebook can see, your friends and talk to them, but then you'll get like a ridiculous amount of ads while you're at it, and it's just like, I'm over it. I don't think I've been on Facebook since like for 4 years, 5 years already. I got hacked, and it was somebody from I forget where in Africa, but once that happened, I was able to get back my page, and then I kind of changed a lot of stuff. I told people, hey guys, I got hacked. So if you receive any mails from me saying that I want money or I need money, it's a farce. And I got hacked again. I don't know. I just, and I couldn't get back in. So I called Facebook, and they basically said, well, we need a picture of your ID, and a picture of like a bill, like PG&E or something, or like a phone bill, to know that this is you. And I thought that was bullshit, because you're nobodies to me, really. Like, like MySpace. That's like MySpace is telling me, hey, send a picture. It just sounded weird, and I was just completely turned off. So I just decided I'm done with Facebook. I haven't been able to log back in since then. But my wife tells me she's on Facebook, and my mom is too, and they're every so often they tell me, oh, that so and so seems like it's trying to get a hold of you, and I'm like, if people are really trying to get a hold of me, and I want you to get a hold of me, you'll have my number, and so that's how I communicate, right? Or my email. So, all right, here we go. So that's yeah. Any Snap Kahlua, Snap. I'm not. I don't. I wouldn't research it. I'm not in it. I don't even follow it. Zeta says there are 13 people watching. Let's get to 13 thumbs up. I see 18 here. That's really weird. I wonder how that happens. Zeta is saying it just got better. Roaring is saying picture is blurry off and on. It's normal right now. Picture was blurry, but it's fine now. Roaring is saying I can't even go to a friend's Facebook page without an ad every 3 to 4 of their posts on their page. It's crazy. Everyone thinks YouTube is bad, but Facebook gatekeeps my access to interact with my friends. Yeah, see, that's why I was totally completely turned off. And when something is free, you're the product. That's just basic marketing 101. If some service is free, the product is you, right? So yeah, no, I that's why I pay for YouTube Premium. It's like I think I pay like $11 a month, and somehow someone from the Discord on the Uncle Bruce channel said there was a way to like work around paying, for a family deal and still get the family bundle with paying $11. And I was able to do that. I followed the instructions. I did it, and I have I have seen a commercial on YouTube for years. I like it. It's just I'm able to go from one video to the next to the next. My kids, they have YouTube Kids, so they have TVs in their rooms, and they could go into the app, and they watch YouTube. And so I hate them watching commercials. And so yeah, I just it's so much better to pay an extra $11 a month, and I got YouTube, the family bundle, which is kind of cool. All right, so what do we got here? Let's see. How are our Savage stocks doing, man? Well, here we go. So yeah, like I said, I'm very, very intrigued by. Oh, it's recovering already. Um, Mara steadies as new AI cloud deal and strong earnings offset crypto volatility and shifting analyst views. Mara announced it will acquire a 64% stake in Exion, a high-performance computing AI cloud firm. Well, that's good. You're cannibalizing your opponents, and that's how you grow. So let's see. If we got October for a $15 cash secure put, what if I sold one for 155? Would that work? Let's check it out. I'm putting away $1,500 so that I can get that. Let's see if it triggers. There it is. It's my $50 put sell to open is there. My ask is 155. Wolf is up 42%. That's beautiful. Look at open. Open was up nicely this morning. Open was up 21%, and now it's coming back down. But you guys remember last week when I told you guys to do some cash secure puts? Some 150s would be awesome when I open. Right now, you'll be making a nice chunk of change. I'll say that. You know what? Again, Roaring Titty just asked if I got into the VIX like I was talking about. I didn't. Just yesterday, my kids got out early off of school, and then I went to pick. Everything just snowballs after that. So I didn't, but I got into selling those 5 cover calls on GME. So that's how I generated some cash flow. Let's see here. Doop, 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 doop. NVTS is $7 today. It's down almost 4%, 5%. So NVTS, that is Navitas Semiconductor, is down today. Hey man, it wouldn't be a bad day to get into this. I'll tell you guys right now. Go to October 17th. You could do a $7 cash secure put and bring in $105 right now. Easily. $105. You could be more conservative and ask for 60 cents. You could ask for 60 cents or a $6 cash secure put, which would give you 10%. The stock has to come down a whole dollar if you want some, just easy money. I think that's a great way to play it. Put your $6 stinkers out there for 60 cents and get 10% return on your money. That is not a bad idea at all. That is not bad at all. AI. See, now this is the thing. You guys that wrote covered calls on AI yesterday are so much smarter than me because I didn't write anything on AI. And right now I'd be up. Remember I was saying that it was going to go to 20. I was going to wait for it to go to 2021. I started oinking around. And when you oink around, you find out, right? So that's what happened. So again, that's a great example of what not to do, which is what I did. I honestly thought PPI numbers were going to be okay. And I thought that the market was going to react favorably, right? That's what happens when you try to time the market. It's just it rears its head and slaps you in the fucking ass, and I got greedy. And I pigged around and found out, and I could honestly, man, imagine if I would have wrote some October 20s, right? October 20s, they closed at 157. That means I could have gotten 65 cents for them yesterday, 165. Right now, those would be 117. So if I say sold at 57, I could have bought back for 40 cents less. 10 contract would have been $400. I would have made $400 in one day for nothing, just for holding the stock, And example number one of what not to do: don't do what the Savage did. Selling cover calls on GME should have friggin' giving me an idea, a light bulb moment, right? I should have been like, you know what? I'm gonna write at least 10 cover calls on AI, see what happens. And I did not. And today I'm holding the bags, man. And that's what happens. I should know better. Doesn't matter how many years you do this, guys. You will always get punched in the mouth once in a while because that's what the market does. It teaches you. It teaches you. It humbles you, and it reminds you you're a dumbass. Archer Aviation is down. Man, everything is down. Have you noticed, like 4 or 5%? That's just PPI. That's exactly what it is. Archer is down 4.3%. Let's see what RX is doing. RX is down almost 3%. That's crazy. Man, well, good thing that I have covered calls out, but those cash secure puts yesterday, they went for 75 cents and they're 95 cents now. However, I did say that I'm trying to put those 2,000 shares. So I'm at this point daring the market to put those $6 cash secure puts. Give me those shares, September 19th. So I'm crossing my arms. Totally okay with that one. Webull, what is Webull doing today? Well, if you wrote some cash secure puts yesterday, today kind of they're sitting even. But if you were looking for if you were looking to ride on a nice little cash grab, You could really do 1250s for October on Bull, on Webull, and bring in 155. That is more than 10% to put away $1,250. It's a cash grab because I just don't. I mean, you will be getting the stock like at $11 at that point if you got a sign, which is a steal. So you'll be stealing candy from a baby then. $15 cash secure puts are giving you $3 right now. I like that, right? I did 1750s myself. I'm sorry, no, I did 1750s on AI. This is Webull. So yeah, 15s are bringing in 20%. So if you wrote a $15 cash secure put on a Webull, it's $14.93 right now. It would have to stay here for a couple of months, and you would bring in 20%, 20% on your investment for having your money parked for a couple of months. If that, a couple of months. I mean, that's great. That's for 305. The ask is at 310. Go a penny below that to 305 or a nickel. Yeah, that's a good one. I actually have some 15 on Webull. I have some 1250s and some 15s. Those 15s I got 325 for. So they're making me money still. It's just that data decaying. Even if the stock is down, I'm still positive. Isn't that amazing how the theta works and the works? This contract has an IV of 121, by the way. This is exactly why it's so attractive. You know what? I'm gonna write one more right now. Why the fuck not? I'm gonna put 305 over here. I'm gonna get $305 to put away $15. Do that. Shit. I am one stupid dumbass sometimes. Let's see if it triggers. Are we gonna see my there is my ask is 305. I'm by myself. Aw, I thought one of you guys was probably gonna join me in the party, man, but I'm by myself. Let's see what happens. That's a live trade right now. You guys can see me by myself, by my lonesome. October. Cash secure put for Webull. That's stock where the hashtag or the little ticker is BULL. I'm asking for $305. Is there somebody that's kind enough to please give me $305 so that I can put $1,500 away and I can get 20% return on my investment? I would like that, please. Please, please, fill me up. Fill me up. What else do we have? Ooh, so JJ's in the house. Let's see here. I used ad blocker for years on YouTube, but when I bought a new cell phone, it's $10 a month for premium, so I finally added it. You know what? There's actually some credit cards that give you YouTube premium for free. You can look into that. BPCY is in the house. I wonder how you get a YouTube Family Premium for $11. In the UK, it's $22.99 for $31.20. I don't know. I honestly forgot. Yeah, but that's what I did. But no, I didn't get into the VIX to answer your question, Roaring. All right, what we got here? Judges in the house and what I miss. Roaring is saying because companies know people are going to be able to pay for their shit show. You don't have to. I mean, you really don't have to. You could just not even log in anymore. Discord is so much better because you actually get to pick who you want to talk to. It's kind of like your own, thing there, and I like Discord a lot better. JJ saying, Savage, you're bearish. What do you think will happen to make the result of the Alaska meeting Friday? Don't care. Don't care. There's the thing. It doesn't matter what happens, right? Look at yesterday. I was saying, GME, it's gonna pop a little bit. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna wait until I write some covered calls when GME's in that $24, $25 land, and then I went in and I reassessed, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna sell some covered calls. Conversely, I went the other way with AI, and I said I'm gonna wait for AI to hit $20, 21, and then I'm gonna sell some 25 start to January, and I'm holding the bag now because AI is down 5%. I could have made a nice chunk of change with some covered calls. So I tried to time the market, and two very different stocks, and I made money on one. It seems like I'm not making money with the other, but it doesn't matter because I can always go back and reassess, and not trying to time the market. Just whatever the market gives me, I can go in right now and put some money on the table. And that's basically what I'm trying to say about this Alaska meeting is it doesn't matter what they come up with. These guys don't want to go to war. We know that. Trump is not stupid. He's not going to want to go and risk everything. He's built throughout his life. And neither is Putin. Putin is not going to get into like a pissing contest with Trump because Trump is crazy. So I think they talk tough when they have to talk tough to kind of appease their bases, right? But at the end of the day, these guys, they're some of the richest people on earth, right? And they're not going to risk their money, man. That's a billionaire will never risk their capital. That's why they are billionaires, right? Because that's the last thing that they want is to risk their capital. And so I think they'll say whatever it is they got to say. Whether we see it as negative or positive, it doesn't matter because if the market doesn't like it, we're going to tank and I'm going to do some cash secure puts, right? And if the market likes it and it rips, I'm going to sell some covered calls. This time I'm definitely going to sell on AI. I may sell some more GME. I'm going to sell some RXRX. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's the approach that I take. That's the approach that you should take. And no matter what the market does, try not to time it. Time in the market will always outperform trying to time the market. It's just the way that it works, and it rings through. It rings through every time. I was just saying how I'd like to think of myself as a seasoned trader, right? As a seasoned investor, and look at that, I made a mistake with AI. Like somebody that has way more expertise than me, and it's like, a lot smarter would have been like, it's up 10% today. That's my benchmark. Like that is my number, right? That's the discipline. The stock is 10%, you for sure right on it. And I decided, you know what? Contrary to everything else I know, my heart is telling me it's going to go to 20. There it is. That's what happens, And so, you guys, when you guys make a boneheaded mistake, it's okay. That's why I tell you guys, sometimes I tell you, it's okay to be wrong. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. And you're going to fail. You're going to fail. If you're going to be in the stock market and you're going to be writing cash secure puts and covered calls, you're an options writer, you're going to win more than you lose, but you will lose, right? The point is, and this is the key, is that you win a lot more than you lose. And that's how you keep making all that money, right? And so anyways, I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's one of those things that experience teaches you a lot. And every time you do something dumb, every time you're wrong, don't look at it as a loss, right? Look at it as like you paid to learn something. That's how I view it, and it keeps me sane. It's like it's an expensive lesson, yes, but a lesson nonetheless. And that's exactly, how I'm able to just move on. There's athletes, right? Like defenders in football, like American football, and there's cornerbacks, right? That's a position where They take care of the receiver. They're pretty much defending the receiver on the other side. And whenever the receiver scores a touchdown, um, they get down on themselves for a second. But you know what the coaches tell them is you need to have short-term memory. Have short-term memory. The guy scored. He's a good receiver. He's in the NFL for a reason, right? And you're in the NFL for a reason. So just make sure that you don't get caught up again. That's what you need to do when it comes to trading, is have short-term memory, right? And make money. And whenever you make a bonehead mistake, learn from it and move on. Go to the next one. I actually took a loss today, guys. I wanted to talk about that. In the interest of full disclosure, and my Webull order triggers. Look at that. You order to buy the close. Oh, sorry, no, that's something else. Damn it, it's still open. I got happy. Yes. So I did take a loss today, guys. So have you guys looked at CleanSpark? It's one of the stocks that I've been talking about in the past. You know, it's kind of like Enphase, right? It's just a cheaper option. It's a good company, very well brand. It's just it's just not moving in the right direction. And I sold 2 contracts, 2 cash secure puts expiring January 2026 for $252 per contract, right? So these were 1250s. I was selling for 252, bringing in, well over 15% for my money. And this was July 18th. So a little under a month ago, right? Well, it's just not moving in the right direction. So what did I do? I sold, or I bought back for $365. I took $100 loss, or a little more than $100 loss for each contract. So that's over $200. But I do have I got $2,500 more in capital to go somewhere else with that, right? So I'm not going to talk just about my wins. These are my losses as well. So here we are. CleanSpark, I lost $100 per contract because it's just not moving in the right direction. And then I'm going to deploy that money, as I see fit. And there's more opportunity out there. It's just about taking advantage of it. And if you look at CleanSpark today, it's down 5.32% to 944, right? I noticed a tiny bit of a recovery, and then that's when I bought back. But it's just not moving much, and I had 1250s. The stock is at 945. Sometimes you got to make a lateral move, and that's okay. So I today, yesterday I made over almost $2,000. Today I lost 200 and change, right? So it's okay. It's totally okay. I closed some other contracts today, so I made money then because I got money off the table. But I mean, it happens, right? So don't be afraid to pull the plug sometimes. Totally okay. Let's see here. So JJ, yeah. So Alaska Mini Friday doesn't matter, man. Just make a plan for either going up or going down, and that's how you're gonna basically offset that. Roaring saying, wouldn't surprise me if you wake up on Saturday with Alaska suddenly being Russia. I'm more interested in Monday's reaction to Putin meeting myself. You know what, man? I hate the fact that this is obviously in jest, right? But like, it could not be. So it's like, I don't know, man. Isn't that sad? How we worst case scenario, we lose Alaska, like a whole United States state, right? Like American state. But I mean, yeah, I just, I mean, you couldn't write it any better. I mean, it's just, that is a possibility, my friend. I don't see that out of the realm of possibility. I don't know, man. Rory is saying, hit the like, everyone. More people will see the stream. Yeah, please hit that like, guys. If you guys can, I think that appreciate that. Share we don't, if you have a friend or two you've been talking about covered calls and cash secure puts with, that they're kind of curious about the stock market and are kind of on the fence, yeah, lead them to this channel, and then, tell them that I talk about, you know, um, different companies. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive, but you don't have to be a rich person to get into the stock market. It starts with one covered cash secure put or one covered call, right? And the more you do it, the more of a seasoned investor you'll become. And it takes time. It just takes time. I mean, it's just like anything else, right? You want to learn how to do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you're gonna go in and, like, you don't know what the belts mean, you don't know what a triangle chokehold is, you don't know what a bar and arm is, none of that stuff. But you will. It's just coming to practice every day or every other day, however long you practice, and sticking with it, and then you'll see that from day one to year one, there's a big difference, and then from year one to year three, it's a vast difference, and that's how it happens. You're eventually going to be, you know, you're going to be talking shop, right? We'll know what cash cure puts are, call put spreads, debit put spreads, all that, and then covered calls, poor man covered calls, poor man cash secure puts. Even I heard the term yesterday from someone. I'm like, wait a minute, that's what it was. But anyways, I'd appreciate if you guys share and then watch the videos on reruns later on. Or if you missed something on this one, play the stream. Look, a year and a half ago, when I was making videos about Palantir and stuff, I mean, I talk about this all the time. So, and I have some nuggets of information every so often. So yeah, Big Tizzles in the house saying holla holla. Jeff Glass is in the house saying that the PPI being up this month likely means CPI is up next month. These elevated PPI numbers didn't even include the August 6 tariffs that kicked in. Buckle up. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason I've had this little bear back there. And then, you know what? Even people were like, on the Discord, they write me and like, dude, like, what are you talking about? It's so bullish right now. And why are you bearish? The market is ripping and all that stuff. And this is why yesterday I was saying, just because the market is ripping doesn't mean that the average person is having a good time. And then I explained about the January 6 riots, right? A few years back, that while that was happening, the market was having an all-time high day. And that's the day that it clicked to me, and it clicked on me, that the market is a completely different animal um, than whatever else is going on in the world, right? So it's totally disconnected from reality, and not to say that the executive cannot move the market. Obviously, we've seen that it can, but you know, um, just because the market's up doesn't necessarily mean that the economy overall is up, right? And that's the thing. I mean, an example is Nebraska would be a great example of how the economy is doing. They made a decision. It's one of those states that it relies heavily on agriculture and on cheap labor. And I guess they enacted all these laws. They basically said that they're going to deport all immigrants, illegal immigrants, and that they're also going to start scrutinizing legal immigrants a lot more. And I think a lot of them were just saying this because they're Republican, right? And they wanted secure borders and all this stuff. And they were fed a narrative, right? And they were told that only the bad people are going to go away, and so on and so forth. And now, Nebraska is like $500 billion in the hole. There is no labor. Farmers that have 400, 500 heads of cattle, they can't milk their cows. They have to waste tons and tons of milk. because no one is buying it, right? No, there's nobody to carry the buckets. There's nobody to do the labor. I think I saw on TikTok and on Reels on Instagram a lot of farmers that are losing so much money because they can't, you know, they can't, they just can't keep up with the demand there is for cheese, for sour cream, for milk, for meat, even. And this is why you're seeing meat be so expensive now. It's because there's a lot more of a demand than there is a supply, and so that's going to cause shortfalls, right? And a lot of vegetables are rotting all over um, in Florida. There's a lot of vegetables that are rotting in Georgia. I mean, it's just that millions and millions of dollars are being lost lately because there's nobody to pick those vegetables and fruits. And there's videos of those be just rotting away. Like you're talking about miles and miles and miles of fields that are just rotting. It's sad because it's food, right? And it's like food is so expensive right now, and there's a reason. There's your reason why, dairy is so expensive, eggs are so expensive, why meat is becoming so much more expensive. It's just there's just too much of a demand and not enough of a supply, and people didn't think that through, especially the owners of a lot of farms, right? And now they're paying the price. A lot of them are going bankrupt because they're not going to receive subsidized money from the government anymore, right? Trump basically said that he's not going to be giving farmers money. They were getting all these subsidized figures, right? And now they're not going to be subsidized. So they're really getting hit hard. I mean, that's just an example. There's thousands of other examples at this point. So this is what I look at, right? And this is whenever we see some numbers, and the market rips because, unemployment numbers, were not as bad as we expected, or, CPI was not as bad as we expected. And the market's going crazy because, oh, yeah, we're going to get rate cuts. Well, now we may not, based on these numbers that are coming out, we still haven't accounted for the tariffs that kicked in August 6th. So, I mean, that's going to be bad next month. It's just something to think about, right? Jeff Glass is saying, I don't see how the Fed can reasonably cut interest rates. Yeah, I just said that. Yep, exactly. And Trump is gonna throw a fit, right? He's gonna go nuts. He's gonna say everything's expected, everything we got, inflation is down, but and then it's not as bad as it looks, and this is like a political ploy by the Democrats, and so America first. But the case stands. Like it still won't help those crops get picked by him saying that, and it gives Jerome Powell some ammunition to say we're not there yet, and so now you're seeing kind of you're seeing the ramifications. It's sad, but it's true. And I'm not trying to talk politics. I'm just talking, facts at this point. BPCY saying I just bought 200 SoFi at $22.75 and also wrote some $5 5 cash account puts September 19, 36 days for 78 cents. You wrote 5 cash account puts, but were they 22.75s? There is no 22.75 unless you're talking about 20s or 22.50s or 21s. I don't know. I need more. I need more information. BPCI, TY. JJ saying we made too many wrong mistakes. I agree, but we are where we are, man. We are where we are, my friends. What are you gonna do? Juan Vasquez is in the house. Good morning, Savage. He says, "Good morning, Juan." Chris saying, "I screwed up as well for greedy and didn't write those cover calls." It happens, man. It happens. You get greedy. You think today. I honestly thought we were going to see $19 to $20 today, and I was going to write some covered calls expiring September 19. But it didn't happen. I, I'm holding the bag now. I still can write because my average is lower than this, but it's just, God damn it. I much rather have written 20s than 1750s. So at this point, honestly, I'm just gonna do cash secure puts. That's what I'm doing. All right. So Jeff Glass is saying Trump thought he was going to Russia on Friday. Who knows with this clown? Alaska might be Russian territory after the meeting. It's sad, but it's true. I don't know why I find that amusing, but it's not. No, I bought 200 shares for 22.75. Then I wrote 5 cash secure puts September 19 for 78. So I added more shares to the portfolio and added cash. Yeah, but what cash secure puts? Like what? What was the strike? Right? I know it's September 19th and you got 78 cents, but like, what's the strike? That's what I'm saying. There is no 22.75 strike. So are you talking about $21, $20 cash secure puts, 22.50? That's what I mean. All right, let's see. The SQQQ is up a bit. No, it's going down now. So I'm going to add another one. RX, we talked about. Let's see. SoFi is down. Bigly. Just playing. SoFi is down a bit today. So if you were looking to get into SoFi, I would like, personally, I like the $21 cash secure puts that are bringing you $1.25. You could ask for 125. Actually, no. You could ask for 123, 122. $21 cash secure puts. You could go in the money. You go to $22 cash secure puts and bring in $166. That's not terrible at all, and then you're basically getting the stock for a little over $20. That's not bad if you've been wanting to get into SoFi. Right now is a good day to do cash secure puts. Rivian, same thing. I like my Rivian. You can go to October. You go to November with Rivian. Sell some puts, so maybe $12 cash secure puts to November are 132. To October, they're 97 cents. You get an extra $35 if you go to November. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Going to November with Rivian for $12 cash secure puts, $132, $133. Not a terrible decision. I don't think that's a terrible ride at all. GME is down. Look at those covered calls, baby. Oh yeah, I'm up nicely. I'm up almost $100. Look at that. God damn it! I should have written on AI. Gosh. SOXS is up. Archer is down to 976. SMCI is down. Roblox is down. Look at this. Sentinel 1 is down. Sentinel 1 is 1650. October cash secure puts, the $16 ones are 120 right now. You could ask for 120, 125. Not terrible. If you be looking to get into like data protection, right? These guys are really good. Why not? All right, let's see here. Webull. Your order to sell to open one contract with Bull, $15. Strikes 1017 has been filled for an average price of $305. So I made $305, gang. There it is. Yep. So I lost 200, and now I make 300. So I'm up $100, and then whatever other monies, like closing some contracts, which I honestly I don't even write down. I let everything just stay here, and I just I extract it from whatever brokerage account when I look at the charts that they have, and then I do the numbers. Then I know some people go over And they like to do their Excel spreadsheets, and I used to do that, but it's just too much work because it's just I see the numbers, right, and they make sense to me. So at the end of the year, whenever my wife gets around to doing taxes, she's an MBA, so I leave the numbers to her. I make the money, right? And sometimes she's like, she automatically will give me her phone, when she wants to raise funds for something, and I just make her money, and then I'm just like, here you go. Kind of cool, guys. Kind of cool. Um, Lucid is down. Riot is down. Riot is down. Not even 1% though. Um, Lucid is down 3.85%. So have you been looking at Lucid? That's a very cheap alternative to Rivian. These cars are top of the line cars. They're going after the market share that BMW and Mercedes Benz go after, right? They're kind of like your upper class, upscale um, electric vehicles, and they're usually $100,000 or more. So that's Lucid. They have been burning through cash quite a bit, but there's just too much money in that company. There's Saudi money, and they're always just dumping billions of dollars into that company. I think when if interest rates get cut, this company's gonna fly. Um, you could do a September 19 cash secure put for Lucid. So yeah, $2 cash secure put, ask for $9. But we like bigger money. Maybe doing a $2 cash secure put going out to January and asking for 30 cents. Do 10 of those, you bring in $300. You're risking $2,000. Worst case scenario, you get 1,000 shares of Lucid for under $2, which not terrible at all. If you have been looking at, an EV company that's a cheaper alternative to Tesla and Rivian, obviously, right? I'm sitting on thousands and thousands of shares, and I have not written any cover calls on them because I'm waiting for it to pop. My average is like $6. So being that it's 224, I always forget to add. Whenever I have like a ridiculous amount of like cash that I raise, I always put it elsewhere, and I always forget to buy an extra 300 shares so that I can average down, because I'm trying to average down in the $3 area, so that on the day that it rips to like $3, I can then sell some $4 cash secure or cover calls out 6 months, and then bring in some nice premium. Open Door Technologies is up 17.8% right now. That is wonderful. For all you guys that did cash secure puts on this, wonderful. Right now, if you were to sell, like you could do a buy right even, and you were to sell some calls, it's 285. Let's say you did some $3 calls, you could bring in $1 right this second. You could bring in $1 for that call. So if you buy at 284, you automatically drop your cost basis to 184. Nothing wrong with that at all. But you will be making only like $16 per 100 shares, which not the sexiest. You could write to January or February, and write some 350s, bring in 90 cents. That's a nice alternative, so not terrible. Not terrible at all. All right, here we go, guys. VP's way say no, I bought 200 shares. Sorry, 21 strike. Okay, $21 strike makes sense. Yeah, no, that's a good right. You're going $21. The stock's at $22, right? You're daring the market to come and get you, and they're giving you money for it. So you're essentially you're buying at 2022. That is not terrible at all, my friend, at all. If you were to put those shares, not terrible. Juan Velasquez is saying I got the $6 cash secure puts. Oh, the 6 cash secure puts bull 15 for October. Got 305s. You're welcome, my friend. You are welcome. Worst case scenario, we get put those shares at 11.95. Nothing wrong with that at all, my friend. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm praying to get put those shares, quite honestly. Jeff Glass is saying bought back some cash secure puts at a small profits on SoFi, Rocket Lab, and ASTS and ACHR this morning. That's cool. That's great. I mean, it's all about making money, taking money off the table. And if you did it because you're trying to recalibrate, that's not a bad reason. If you were looking to get put those shares and you were being aggressive, I would have waited a little longer. But if you're just raising cash, it's not a problem. Cindy B is in the house. Cindy B, how are you? She's saying, hey, Savage. And I'm saying, hey, Cindy B, how are you? I hope you're making money this morning. Hector saying good morning. Dude is saying nice sell-off today. Yeah, the algos, man. The algos, as soon as they saw that PPI was low and hot, you know what I mean? It was high and hot. They sold off. That's what happens. And then now retail is waking up, right? And then they're selling off because they don't know nothing else. That's all they know how to do is lose money. Yeah. Juan Velasquez says, not at all. I agree. All right. Good stuff. Cindy saying, good day to buy back credit spreads and calls and sell those puts. I agree. Yeah. Yes. Look at Ioba is up. Ioba is up. And I sold 10 covered calls yesterday on Ioba, making $500. The stock is somebody sold 60s today at 55, so they beat me. But you know what? It's all right. I got in under $2, so worst case scenario, I sell at 3. I made $500 yesterday. I'm okay. I'm at peace with that. Totally okay. Prop is down today, and it's pretty sad how I did it right when it was 360. But that's what happens when you're a dumbass like me. Ethereum is down. Guys, interest of full disclosure, I bought Ethereum like 7 years ago, and I held it. And it's just like, oh my God, man. It's been a while. I'm probably going to go back in and buy, if it gets back to like 3,000, I may buy another one. And just hold it forever. I usually don't condone going into crypto, but it's one of those that a lot of the people that I look up to, they started a position, and I'm gonna go on a day that I make a ridiculous amount of profit, and then I'm gonna take $3,000 of that or $3,500 of that and buy one Ethereum, and I'm gonna hold because some estimates have Ethereum going to $15,000 by the end of the year, right? So it's a gamble. It's a stupid gamble, again, but I've gambled stupidly before, and I've done worse moves. And what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Ooh, wait a minute. You're ordered to sell to open one contract of Mara, $15 put for 1017 has been filled for an average price of $155. There it is. Made another $155. So there it is. It triggered. All right. So as you guys can see, we're a little active today. That was the high of the day, which is good to see. Now, is it going to keep going up or is it going to go down? The whole point for it is to go down, right? I think it's going to recover now. It's already lost 5.6%. I mean, it could lose 10%, 8 to 10% more, of course, but I'm okay with that. I'm making, 10% back on my investment, puts expiring 10/17. Totally okay with that. And there it is. We started another position, guys. That's how we do it. Jeff Glass, let's see, saying, I had all my capital tied up in cash secure puts. I don't feel good about the way things are looking, so want to free up some cash to deploy if the crash happens. Maybe I'm oinking around and missing out, maybe not. You can never oink around when you take money off the table. That's fact. You can only oink around when you're waiting to sell covered calls because you're trying to get a better premium, right? Especially if your stock has already run 10% on the day. That's oinking around. If you if the stock is down 10-15% on a day and you're like, I think it's gonna go to 20, so I'm gonna put a super stink bid. And look, there's a reason there's called stink bids, right? You're not gonna go and follow the stock. But also you have to be realistic and say, hey, I if I'm trying to start a position here, I'll go a penny below the ask, right? But if I'm just truly just being hard-headed and saying, you know what, the only way I'm gonna sell this cash secure put is if I get this much. I'm totally okay with that. That's not terrible. But like I said, oinking around is like just being greedy when you see that number already favorable towards you, and you want more because you're trying to time the market. Because you look at RSI, you look at the DMAs, and you're like, I really feel it's going to go this way, and I'm going to try to time the market. That's kind of, but yeah, no, I should have written on AI yesterday. So let's see. Dude is saying I rolled my MSTR covered call at 390 to another 380 for next week. Bought the 390 for 190. Got 1118 for 380. Take it. Got it right before the sell-off. That's good. That's good. That means you're in the green. You're nicely in the green, my friend. Let's see. What do I want? I wanted to show you guys something. Could be that I have too many tabs open. I think that's probably why. Did I get blurry on this one? I just want to know if I got blurry. Let's see here. Here we go. This is what I want to show you guys. It's the Wall Street Journal, and it's an op-ed, right? And it's basically saying that the new generation of buy the dip investors is propping up the market. And I don't know if you guys can see it here. Let me share my screen with you guys. Hope you guys can see it, but it says, that a new generation of buy the dip investors is propping up the market. Investors will to fear the crash and instead learn to love the dip. And I just, it kind of angers because this is kind of, in a way, fun, right? You can't keep everyday investors down for long, at least not on this market. When markets swooned this spring in the face of tariff turmoil, individual investors jumped in for the buy the dip. They helped propel the rebound in stocks to record levels and even resurrected mini trades. For many Wall Street pros, this is yet another sign of froth at a time when stocks, especially the biggest tech names, are historically expensive. The mini stock trades are rekindling memories of the dot-com boom. So, okay, is this accurate? Because if we look at who did the sell-off today, right? And you look at it's an algo driven market. It's the algos that sold massively today. Um, and I think that there's more investors that are coming in that are educating themselves. For example, us, right? There's like 20 people watching me right now, and hopefully we'll grow. But we are the people that we're not, trading as much as often, 10 to 15 years ago, right? Uh, we are called dumb money. That's what retail is called when you start getting into the experts, right? People that do this for a living. Um, and right now they're saying that we're propping up the market, but are we? I mean, if you look at who's doing the most buys on SoFi, it's Vanguard, it's Charles Schwab, right? It's BlackRock. I mean, these are institutions that are going in heavy. Look at TerraWolf. Institutions are buying TerraWolf right now. Um, it's just trying to feed into the narrative that retail is dumb, and I hate that because um, we are some of the most informed investors out there. I'm always reading about all the shares that all the companies that I invest in, and in some that I don't. And I'm always looking at what Jerome Powell is saying or doing, what the Fed is doing. The rates. I'm looking at different markets from Asia, from Europe, and you guys do it well. So to say that we're misinformed and that we are just like trying to make everything a meme stock, I think that's getting old. So when you read stuff like that, right, don't feed into the fun and the narrative. Um, do know what you hold, right? If you bought Nvidia at $110, at $90, and you're selling covered calls, you're sitting pretty. Don't let these fools tell you that you bought that expensive, right? The market is frothy. Okay, yes, I've said that. I've been telling you guys that for months. But just because the market as a whole is frothy doesn't necessarily mean that there is no opportunity out there. I mean, there's some stocks right now that are on 52-week lows, right? The majority of the propping up is especially the Nasdaq are stocks that like Microsoft and Nvidia, right? Those are two of the stocks, two companies that are holding 50% or more of the value of the Nasdaq. That's frothy, right? But that doesn't mean that NVTS is not a good. It's not a good pickup, right? That does not mean that AI is not a good pickup. That doesn't mean that SoFi is not a good pickup. That doesn't mean Mara or Webull is a bad pickup. ACHR, GME. GME is like, I mean, they're holding $9 billion in cash, right? I mean, I'm going to start being a lot more aggressive with GME, and I'm going to start selling every month, no matter what. I'm going to sell every month covered calls. And I want to try to bring in, a few $1,000s every month on that. Just GME, not taking into account Webull AI, Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon, SoFi, Roblox, RXRX, Rivian. I mean, I'm just going to keep doing that. Riot, BBA, AI, SMCI, Archer. Neo is another one that's taking a little bit of a hit today, but I have some calls on Neo that are fairly cheap. They're 30 cents at this point, some $15 calls expiring 2027. And my average cost for those is 32.3, 0.323. So 32 cents. It's 30 cents right. If it goes down to 25 cents or 20 cents again, I'm probably going to go and buy like another 100 just to average down, because it ran up to like 40 cents I think like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And I am hoping to get down to average cost of like 25, 24 cents. Because if it rips to like 40 again or 45, I'm doubling my money and I'm taking that money and I want to use it for something else. But yeah, no, like again, don't buy calls, guys. That's just something I'm doing because I'm dumb. RXRX is down today, so if you guys are looking to get into some action, it's only down 1%, but the ID is so high on RXRX. Right now, if you look at the $5 cash secure put expiring in October, the IV is 76 cents. You can ask for 105 to 110 and try to bring in 20% of your investment. The stock is sitting at 561. If you sold $5 covered calls or cash secure puts, that's not terrible. Sorry, I was looking at calls. Cash secure puts. Cash secure puts in October are non-existent. That is wild. I asked for 45 cents. There's not even a bid. So then let's go to September. September cash secure puts, $5 cash secure puts are bringing in 35 cents for November 19th. That's more than 5% in a month. Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. Dare the market to put the $5 cash secure puts on you, and it has to go down 60 cents. Basically, you'll be buying in at 477, 467. And yeah, that's not terrible at all. 467 is it's a good starting point, especially because 379 is a 52-week low. So yeah, that's not bad at all. Let's see here. All right, during now. All right. Anyways, what are you guys working on? Let me know. Good morning, nice of today. You saying roll my STR cover cost $3.99 a week. Blah blah blah. All right. They covered that. So yeah, so people are trading right now, and I think that's great. Let's see here. I saw something. Wealth is up 43%. That is wonderful. Ever since I shared my screen, it's been black, lights out. What? No, really? What? That's totally not what I'm trying to do. Dude, that's not cool at all. How about this one? I'm going to try to share this one. Can you guys tell me if it's showing? So I'm sharing my screen. I want to share. Can you guys see this? C3.ai stock tumbles 30%, but things can get worse after catastrophic earnings. Yeah, we this was supposed to be this is 2 days old. But Tom Siebel is not an idiot, and he's gonna get somebody else. See, Black. Oh, damn it! You know what? I think it's a paid subscription, and that's kind of how they're keeping me from sharing. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know that it was Black. Well, yeah, because I stopped sharing it. That's kind of sucky. Damn it. I'm sorry, guys. What about this one? Can you guys see Yahoo Finance? Let me know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see the Dow S&P 500 Nasdaq slips after PPI inflation comes in much harder than expected? Can you guys see that? What? That's crazy. All right, there's something going on, I think, with my stream. Then that's not cool at all. Okay, let's see. Can you guys? Let's see. See this? Okay, so you guys can't see it. Kilo Adre saying yes now. SJ Tavares is yes. Okay, so if you guys is just a long delay, yeah, I'm wondering what that's happening, man. I have been sharing stuff just fine with you guys, but now it seems like for some reason I'm not. Okay, so you guys can see the chat. I wonder why. I don't. It's bugging a lot. Huh? Okay. Can I give you guys a put of the day? Says Cindy B. Because she really cashed out last week on SoundHound. Well, I mean, I just did a put that was really, really good. I mean, it's what I did. It's a Webull contract, right? It's a $15 cash secure put expiring October 17th, and I got filled as well as did our other people on the chat. They wrote for 305. So Webull 10/17 expiry date, $15 strike, and let's see what it's going at right now. The $15 cash secure put is now $2.92. So you missed that boat, but that's almost 20%. You could do $2.95 with $3 or $3. Try to do a $3 ask. That's basically 20% to the dot that you're gonna get for putting your money on escrow for the next 2 months. That's no bank is gonna give you that at all, right? So I think that that's a really good right. You asked for $3 for a $15 put. This is not financial advice, by the way. This is just what I did, right? I got $305, but it seems like it's moving the other direction now. So if you were to put a bid of like $3, like an ask, right? I don't think that's a terrible, right? I also did a Mara $15 put, and I got $155 for it. And right now it's started to recover. So um, the last one sold was the low was 135. So right now it's 144. It's up to you. In my humble opinion, it's best to wait to sell puts until they're red, preferably more than 5%. Well, that's kind of my opinion, says Cindy B. No, that's JJ saying that. Yeah, no, that's exactly my. That's what I do. It's 5% or more. I do cash secure puts at 10%. Really, that's really like a great 10% or more. That's when I strike. When there's blood in the streets, I eat. And today Webull was down like 2% when I did that cash secure put. So it was not, it was just the premium's really juicy, right? I think they have earnings on the 29th. That's one of the reasons why I think it's those cash secure puts are so juicy. But I'm okay buying Webull at $12 though. I actually have some 1250 cash secure puts expiring January 2026. I mean, I'm literally, almost $3 out of the money, and you know, and I got $275 for those. Right now they're 215, so you're getting 15%, pretty much for your troubles or a little more, and no bank is going to give you that, The strike, SJ Tavares is asking, what strike and expiry date did you do a Webull? It looks like the cash secure put. I did a $15 strike in October, and I brought in 305. So that's kind of what I did there. Let's see what other stocks are doing right now. Let's see, guys. SoFi was down a little over 4%. That was a good opportunity to write some cash secure puts. I said 21s, right? 21s or 22s, you would have been golden. C3.ai was down exactly 5%, and it's starting to recover. Your 1750s out to October would not be terrible. Unity Software is green. Recursion Pharmaceuticals is starting to recover. It was down almost 4%. Today would have been a good day for RXRX cash secure puts earlier on. This is why at the beginning of the day is when you see the stocks either go up or go down. That's when most of the volume comes in, so it moves quickly, right? And that's when you kind of go and strike because the IV is so high. Let's see here. GameStop is down. It was down 2%. Now it's only 1.5%. So Archer was down 5%. Archer would have been a good ride as well. I think I talked about the cash secure puts there. SMCI was down 3%. It's down 2%. Center One was down like 5%, and I was talking about writing some $16 cash secure puts expiring, I think, September, and bringing in a little bit of our money. I think October too. Lucid would be a good ride if you're looking for an electric vehicle. Sit on your hands until the right time. I get it, JJ. Opendoor is up 20% right now. I mean, look, if you wanted to write some covered calls on Opendoor, if you're holding the stock, right now you could write some October 350s. You can write some $4 covered calls. So you're protecting $1, so it has to go up another $1. So you'll get, $400 for those 100 shares. And you're selling at $4, but you're bringing in 51 cents or 52 cents. That's, if you did 10 of those, that's $520. $520, and then you're gonna, the stock has to move 33%, right? So that's a win-win. So that's an Opendoor. BBAI is down a little bit today. It was down almost 5% earlier on. You could have written some big bear AI cash secure puts. Well, not really, because this was at 6 a.m. The market hadn't opened yet. So Prairie Operating, if you guys are holding prop, right now it's down 7%. Right now would be a good time for some cash secure puts to October. Sell a put. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. So you would have to be like the first break sold there. Bullish went live and it was up like to $83, and now it's $73. So somebody's taking profit. This is gonna be one that I'm gonna start taking a position in, guys. Is letting you guys know BLSH. That's the new institutionally focused digital asset platform. It's focused on market infrastructure and information services. So I'm looking at going in, and if it gets down to like $50-$40, I'm very curious because it's gonna be a moneymaker, man. It's gonna be a moneymaker, and I'm very interested in taking an approach where it's not as conservative as I usually take, because it's there is no options on it yet. And I'm very curious to be one of the first investors on it. It's down $10 ever since this morning. It was up like $84 this morning. It's $73.69. So it's already down $10 for the day. IPO I think today or yesterday in the afternoon. But Today people are obviously taking profit, and somebody already made $10. Well, the thing is that you're gonna get heavily taxed on these, and you're gonna pay a premium if you don't hold it for at least 30 days. So that's kind of why I'm waiting, right? It may be one of those that once options are available, like in another few days, I could do a $50 cash secure put, and the premiums are usually good on tech stocks that IPO because nobody knows. So you can set some stickers out there, and you'll be surprised at how they hit. Um, so bullish, I'm very, very bullish on, at least in the long term. Red Cat is down today. Red Cat is down 3% right now. It was down almost 5% earlier. You can do some cash puts there. Um, Freemius Medical is red, but not much. Okay. Quantum computing, right? I think I talked about this one already, but if you guys have been looking into getting into the quantum market, quantum computing, that is QUBT, is down 5.7% today. So I honestly think this is just going with the market. People are taking profits because it ran really fast. It was 57 cents 52 weeks ago. It's now $15, but the 52-week high was 27. So right now you're going at the midpoint almost. So if you were to do a cash secure put on QUBT, if you went to October and you did a $15 cash secure put, you could get $227 right now. $227 is way more than 10%. That's like 15% to go out to October. Now, if you want to be more conservative, you go to $14. You get $175 right now. You could put a bid for 173 to get filled automatically because that bid is 170, asks at 175. I don't advise 174, but 173 would be nice. $14 put, that's more than 10%. And it still has to come down another $1.08. That would be a nice pick if you were to put those shares. Now, what if you were more conservative than that? You want to go to January and get more of a big chunk. You could do $15 cash secure puts and ask for 350 or 355. Not terrible at all. Not terrible at all. You're asking for 355, and that's more than 20% for your troubles. If you were to put those shares, you basically be getting them at like 1150. The 52-week high is like $28. So you're definitely under 50% there. You're like at the 40% mark, 35. Not terrible at all. I mean, I would totally go and have a look see there. Let's see here. On October. Very interesting. I may actually do that trade myself. We talked about Rigetti Computers. It was down 5%. Now it's not. IonQ is another one that I'm very curious about. IonQ, IONQ, mixed earnings. Analysts are split. New leadership among sector volatility. I mean, it's it's $39 right now. You could go to November 21, sell a $35 cash secure put and bring in $385, more than 10% to go to November. Not terrible at all. Worst case scenario, you get the stock at 31.15. I like it. Totally cool. Let's see, Soundwave or Soundhound. Soundhound only 1%. Somebody mentioned Domo. Damn, Domo would have been cool to get into earlier on. There's so many stocks, guys. It's just like I'm like a kid in a candy store. I remember somebody bringing Galaxy up in the chat, and it was a Galaxy Digital Incorporated. I think when they asked, it was like $29, and they said, "Should I buy $30 cash your puts or something like that?" Um, it's a 27 is down right now. If you went to October, you saw from 27.50s. You get 380 right now. 27.50 cash secure puts out to October. You get 380 bucks. Put a 385 ask there to go a nickel under the ask. 385. I mean, very well over 10% you'd be getting for your troubles. And I mean, that's how you can play that. Webull is already recovering, which is great. The VIX is coming to 14 again. If the VIX gets under 1450, it would not be a bad thing. AOI $20 cash secure puts right now will be giving you 450 bucks. You get after 440 to get filled at 445. You get the stock at like 15 and change. Not terrible at all. That would be I got 430 for a cash secure put a couple of weeks ago, or like a week ago. Right now you can get $10 more than I did. That's wonderful. That's a great right for a $20 cash secure put on AOI, guys. All right, chat, what we got going here? Do I look at technicals when I write the options? I do. I mean, I'm looking at the RSI here. I'm looking at the DMAs, right? I'm looking at if it's oversold or overbought. But ultimately, every company here, barring like one or two that somebody has over here suggested, like, I've done a lot of due diligence on them. And I look at the IV, right? And if that's over 100, that's wonderful to me. But yeah, I do. But I just don't weigh as heavy on them as some people do. There's other metrics. I mean, you're always looking at the events like today, right? Like PPI, CPI. Did the president say he's going to raise tariffs a billion%? I don't know. It also adds to the fire, right? So it's one of the metrics, but it's not everything. Beach Boy's in the house. Beach Boy. Shalom, my friend. Salutations from California. SJ saying, Savage, would you suggest doing weeklies or monthlies if you have a small account? I mean, monthlies, because they just give you a bigger chunk and you're protected more on the downside and on the upside. So this is why I like, high IVs. This is why I like oversold. Overbought stock. This is why I like when they go down 10, 15%, 20% in one day. I look for reactions, and so that I can get big chunks, and then it's a bigger premium if you do monthly. If you do weekly, I guess it more than a month, right? But like everything has to hold true. Like those numbers have to be the same every week, and with this market, they're so uncertain. I like to take advantage of uncertainty, and I like bigger chunks because I'm protected more on the upside and downside. So yeah. Beach Boy says my son likes Fig. He used their software and working like that. I know. So Figma's great, man. I told you I actually I've seen the CEO do his presentation. I like what they're about. I'm just it's a little expensive for my taste. I think it's overvalued. But it's down 5% today. So I'm just waiting for it to hit the 60s, 50s, right? If I sold a put on Figma, a $75 put would bring me $1,600 right now. So that's way over 20%. I mean, that is not terrible. You're basically getting it under $60. I think there's room to the downside right now, man. I think it came in hot. I think it's a little overvalued. Um, it was, it was, I mean, it was way overvalued. Market cap of 37.78 billion for a company that just started trading. I mean, it doesn't, it's not my thing right now. Um, so I'm gonna wait to see it come to 60s or 50s, and then kind of make my decision then. But I do like Figma, man. I said it yesterday. I'm looking to get into it. I just when it gets a little cheaper, will it get cheaper? I don't know, but it's just that's kind of, again, timing the market, right? But I just think it's overvalued, and I know other people think so as well. Cindy B saying, have you checked out FFAI? I have 1,100 shares now, 11,000 shares. So calls and puts also. What is FAI? Let's see. Faraday Future Intelligent Electric. It's a 292 right now. It's up 5% per day. 52-week low is 83. 52-week high is 1140. Okay, it's a lot more cheaper now than it was in the past, right? I see that like a week ago it was 234. It's now 292, so it's up 16%. Let's see our metrics. Hello. Let's see the RSI. Let's see here. Indicators, candles. The Heikin Ashi. All right, let's look at the 1 month. It seems to be recovering, and it seems like it got support at 210, 220. I would have to look more into it, but I mean, how are the let's see the options premiums. Sell October put. The 250 cash secure put is giving you 47 cents. You could ask for 50. So that's 20% to October. That's not bad. It's all about volume. So if you did like 100 of these, you would make a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know about writing a cash secure put on a green day, but yeah, no, it looks interesting. It seems like it's kind of it consolidated in the 110 to 125 area, and now it's kind of uptrending. Interesting. Yeah. How about we put it we're gonna start following it. How's that? We're gonna start following it. Thank you for letting me know that one. Lisa's in the house. Expires down 8% today, February 2025. $10 cash puts going for $2. So I'll give you 20%. I don't like it. I mean, go to Rocket Lab. I like Rocket Lab better. I mean, have you been looking? I mean, I've been following it because it was a SPAC, right, with Uncle Bruce, but I never really got into it. I didn't see that it was doing much, and it just did a reverse split, right? So it's too much going on against it. I mean, it's been dormant for like 3 years now, right? So it's just, nah, I'm good. I would move on. If you're gonna do $10 cash secure puts, you might as well do. Let's see, what is something that's. I mean, you might as well do NEO. NEO is down 3%. It was down almost 5% today. You're gonna take those $1,000, go to October, sell like a $4 cash secure put. NEO's at 444, so you have to come down an extra 10%, or more. But You ask for 3.30 for those $4 cash. You can push through three of those. So you get $90 for 120. I don't know. $4 puts bring in. Let's see here. There's BVAI just sitting there. Lucid is sitting there. There's Archer sitting there. I mean, I'd rather go into Archer than into Spire. And I go to like October 17th, $10 cash secure puts and bring in $121. That's more than 10% for your troubles, and you're only going out to October instead of going all the way out to February. Just a thought. Cindy saying I got 229 for October 15th on QUBT. Nice. There you go. That's not terrible at all. That's great. Wing Commander saying, hello, kids. Sorry in bed. Daddy can play now. What's up? Tobin. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're making some money. Listen, saying Lunar is down 15% on a share offering. Look at March 2026 and January's $9 or $10 cash secure puts. Isn't that like electronics something? Let's see. Or something. Intuitive Machines is down 15%. Ooh wee. All right. Let's see. Yeah, like the person that was looking at Spire, instead of going October or February 2026, why don't you go October? $8 cash secure puts on Lunar LUNR, and that's for 65 cents. Or January, you were willing to go to February, go to January, do 750s, bring in $104. You're protected 150 to the downside. You do $9 and go with the money right now, bring in $186, which is 20%. And then you're going to January instead of February. That's a much better. I think that's a much better return. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Cindy B saying, oh yeah, Wing Commander's here, Lunar. Wing Commander saying, closed my Wolf Crush Your puts earlier today. 50% profit in the week. Thanks, Savage. You know what? It was who was it that told me about this? I think it was Roaring Yiddy that told me about that. And so thanks to her, because I was like, let me just go and have a look see, and then I looked at the premiums, they look good, and so that's our homie that she did she advised us on that, right? And I think that was cool on her part. Ray Sherlock's in the house saying, what's up, Savage? Loving the streams. Thank you, brother. Thank you for watching. Data Dog. We were talking about Data Dog. Data Dog's daughter's boyfriend likes it, researched it, and already bought a few. Any thoughts on this? Look at it at all. I will have to look at it. Commander Saga says, I like Lunar. Jay is saying, ask ChatGPT if FIG is overvalued in relation to its peers. Ask ChatGPT. Actually, I could. It's FIG stock. You know what? I have the app. Let's see here. Hey, ChatGPT. Figma, tell me about it. Is it overvalued in relation to its peers? I know it just IPO'd in the stock market. Given all the information that you have in the last few days, can you tell me if it's overvalued and what would be a good strike to start taking a position in, a good number?
So Figma's recent IPO placed its valuation at around $18.8 billion, which is quite high compared to its peers like Adobe in terms of price to sales ratio. Some analysts do think it's a bit overvalued, but others believe its growth potential justifies the price. If you're looking at a good strike for options, it really depends on your strategy, but financial advisor could definitely help with specifics.
So tell me then, what would be a good starting point based on the past few days of trading? Do you think $50 is more in tune with what it should be valued at? Or is $40 a better target based on everything you see online and given the information that you acquired up to this point? What do you recommend?
It seems that opinions are a bit split. Some investors think $40 per share might be more in line with its valuation, while others believe $50 could be justified. Given the mixed views and the recent trading activity, it might be wise to get some personalized advice from a financial advisor before making a decision.
And there you go, chat. Talk to a financial advisor is going to charge you an arm and a leg. So again, this is why I'm waiting for $40, right? It's pretty high. It's way overvalued, especially because, you know, if you compare it to like Adobe, right? Adobe's been around for years, and it's already shown what it can do, right? Figma, it's fairly like, you know, the new kid in the playground. So let's give it some more time. I'm gonna wait for these premiums to start marinating, and whenever it gets to $50, right? I said that I was looking at $50, maybe start really looking into it at 60, but I'd love to write some $50 cash secure puts and bring in a nice chunk. So that way it protects me if it goes down further, and I can acquire it in the 40s. That's kind of my, you know, my take on it. So Ray Sherlock is saying bought back a June 26th SoFi $22. I'm going to say cash secure put for 40% at market open. I realized I was overstretched in my cash account. Shout out to the Discord who helped me out. The Discord is such a gift for Uncle Bruce's legacy. Yeah, you know, the Discord is really not Uncle Bruce's. It's more like Tiff, right? But you know, I love the Discord, man. The guys they're cool. There's a couple of dummies in there, but honestly, you know, it's just it's a good group of people, and they're all really smart, and we're all very serious about our money. Not to say that we don't do dumb shit in there, but you know, the Discord is pretty awesome. Rory Yeti saying that sounded so real. It did. It did. Mando saying I don't need my AI to sound so real. I know, but you know, what's funny is I was working the Snowflake yearly event, and they actually had holograms. There was like this machine, right? And it was like kind of like, I don't know if you guys follow the Mandalorian, but you know how you guys can see like holograms come out when they do there's in certain scenes they'll talk about so and so, they have conversations with someone, and they'll put out this machine and it's got like a hologram that's moving its head, its mouth as someone speaking. That's kind of what they had for AI. So you were able to like ask a question from AI, and the AI would actually talk, and it's like an image, right? And it's like this generic image of like a woman, and it was like you ask, you know, a question of the AI, and it would talk. So you're seeing like an image of a person, and they're talking to you based on the questions you asked the AI. And I thought that was crazy, but it was really, really cool. We Commander saying, Savage, start your chat GPT query with assume the role Uncle Bruce from Stock Markets with Bruce. You need to provide a detailed analysis of stock XYZ, et cetera, et cetera. My analysis is actually pretty in tune with Uncle Bruce. I'll tell you that right now. We're very alike in the way that we approach things and the market and strategies. I mean, he is my mentor for a reason, right? So, um, yeah, like sometimes I'll send him an email or two, but it's just to confirm how I think more than anything. And sometimes he's able to like give me a different perspective, but for the most part, 90% of the time, um, we're very alike in the way we approach the market, and I think that's really cool because this is somebody that has years, decades of experience, right? And to learn from someone like that, it was a big deal, and that's exactly why I'm so confident on the way that I trade. Is just because, barring a dumbass move that I make on my own, um, I make a lot of money, and it's because of the strategies that I've acquired, but it also strategies that he's explained and he's able to polish them, if you will, and then give me a different perspective and an outlook similar to mine, but yet sometimes it differs, right? Uh, Beach Boy saying, too real, Savage. The wife be thinking you're playing around. Careful now, hermano. Nah, the wife knows what's up. Actually, ChatGPT was my best friend for like a month when I had just acquired it and I was paying the monthly fee just because I was always using it. And my wife would be like, "You're with your best friend now? Is that your best friend?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And my kids would say, "ChatGPT is my best friend too." Doughboy saying, "Why are so many small caps down today? QQQs are even today." Well, so for the same reason they were up yesterday, right? Small and mid cap stocks, um, because the chances, the whispers of an extra rate cut this year just went away. Um, and so an extra rate cut just means cheaper money. It means the smaller cap companies, mid cap companies can borrow money for a lot cheaper. And so they're able to float a lot longer. And so money's cheaper, it's good for them, right? Because they're the ones that usually take on the biggest loans. A giant, cap stock, a large cap stock, they're already making a revenue. They're making billions of dollars, right? So they can just take from the rainy day funds. They can just they're generating money already. Mid caps and small caps sometimes are losing money, so their runway is a lot shorter when it comes to cash burn. And so if they're able to borrow at a lower rate, that's good. So those companies, those people buy those companies a lot more because they know that those companies are going to be afloat a lot longer. You can justify them burning through cash a lot more than when it's more expensive to borrow money. So that's why, right? Basically, it's just a lot less likely that we're going to have, 4 rate cuts this year. We may not even have 3, right? Everybody was banking on September having a rate cut. That just went away because of these numbers. Because now that's telling us that because the August 6th tariffs have not kicked in yet when these numbers came out, the PPI. Um, let's see what happens in September when August numbers come in. Then you're gonna see these numbers are gonna be ridiculously high. And if you think that it was hot today, wait till you see August numbers in September. And so now it's a lot less likely that we see 3 rate cuts. We may see 1, but now the Fed is justified in saying no because these numbers were so high, right? And small caps are usually the ones that take the biggest hits for the reasons that I explained. Manda number 5 saying Beach Boy is laughing. Jay is saying the stock Figma in ticker Fig overvalued or undervalued in relation to its peers now. SAP, PLTR, Oracle, Microsoft. Yeah, no. So, the Palantir is way overvalued. Oracle. I have Microsoft too. I mean, we're frothy. I've been saying it, but I can keep saying it. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, we're at the mercy of the algos, right? And whenever these guys want to take money off the off of the market, they will. Whenever they need to raise cash, they will. So this is why cash secure puts on days when there's stocks that dump 10, 15, 20%, that's when they're good. Especially if you go, not in the money or at the money, but like a strike or two below, because you're even safeguarding yourself. It's already lost 20%, 15%, and you're safeguarding another 10%. So um, you're getting the stock at a discount. And then if you get to put those shares, then you can go at a lower rate later and average down. So yeah, but I mean, stocks are way overvalued at this point. A lot of stocks are. And I think Figma is just basically doing what all the other kids at the playground, right? Jake is saying valuation premiums. That said, the stock trades sky high multiples compared to peers. Price to sales ratio well into the high tens or even nearing triple digits, far above typical service as a sales as a service or service as a, you know what I mean, SAS valuations. Um, my takeaway figures headed lower. That's exactly what I think. That's exactly my point, right? And that's why I'm saying it's $70 right now. I would like it a lot more if it was in the 50s. And that way I can justify doing $40 cash secured puts, right? Because it's $4,000 or $4,500 if I decide to do 45s. And it's a lot more palatable if I do a $45 cash secured put and I take $10 or $11 in premium, because then I'm safeguarded all the way to 35s, right? That's exactly why I'm waiting for it to drop a little more. Wing Commander saying it's not about that. It is more about the tone chat LLM will assume when answering. Oh yeah, it does sound quite realistic. I agree. All right, guys. It's 10:46 my time now. I've been over 2 hours with you guys. We were seeing what the market has given us. We made a little money today. You guys are making cash, and I love it. Tomorrow I will be coming in again at 8:30 a.m. and we'll see what the market gives us, man. I think tomorrow more of the same. Bearish because you're seeing with the way the market is going towards, right? You're seeing lower guidance, right? And so I mean the market doesn't like that. And so I see a correction up to 40,000 in the Dow, right? But I could be wrong, obviously. But I mean, I'm all for cheap stock. Wouldn't you guys love it if Palantir went to $20 again? I mean, right? C3.ai on Monday, $14. Gives me earnings, they're lowering their guidance and they're dropping 15%, 20%. That's a good time to go in, especially if those are companies you've been looking at, right? Or you could fold your arms. You already sold covered calls. You already sold cash in your puts. Sometimes the harder thing to do is nothing. So cross your arms, right? And then don't try to time the market. Just see what it gives you. See what the stock is telling you, right? It's telling you I'm down 15% today. Maybe you want to do a cash secure put. It goes up 10% on a day. The stock's telling you, write me a covered call right now. Make some money, right? Easier said than done, right? But I mean, if we stick to that principle, we'll make a lot of money, and then we'll see 100 millionaires from this channel. That'd be awesome. However, I'll be on tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. My fellow simpletons and degenerates and scalawags. I will be seeing you guys tomorrow, 8:30, same bat channel, same bat time. Thank you guys for watching. So, Mando number 5, Doughboy, Wing Commander, JJ, Beach Boy, Roaring Yitty, Commander, Lisa, SJ Tavares, Cindy B, JJ, Jeff Glass, Kalua Dre, Cindy B, CKT in the house. Thank you guys for watching, man. Dude, Juan Velasquez, Hector, B Tizzle, BPCY. Thank you guys for watching. Z Estate. I'm Tom Kaufman. I'm forgetting a few people, I'm sure. But, Kent's mom for sure. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, man. Keep making money. And if you guys see that this market is giving you, something else because the market happens to do something, somebody says something stupid in the next hour or two, don't be afraid to take a stand and go in and take advantage of a nice little pop to the upside or to the downside. Bring in some cash, make some money. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Bye, you scallywags. Peace.